I'm Dr. Wendy Rowley of the Wonder of Human Design YouTube channel and the Wonder of Human Design website and the Great Global Healing Party website, where there's more information and channelings. There's a free monthly channel on the Wonder of Human Design website every month. I'm in the Sedona Journal of Emergence, and there's also, before each Great Global Healing Party, of which there are 5 per year, there's information that comes in before the event that talks about it, I think at this point it's a cosmic, galactic, and quantum entanglement update that go on before each Great Global Healing Party, where should you want more information, you could read that over at the Great Global Healing Party website. Okay, so this is episode 9. This is a 10-part series. I suggest you listen from the beginning to the end because the energy builds, the information builds, it makes more sense. And we have 4 pieces of energy work in this. And in the how to work with your soul guides, there's 3 energy pieces of work in that. I do sound, energy activations, and alignments if you're familiar and you're just tuning into this YouTube channel. So this is the playlist in case I didn't say it. Are you ready for your next growth period? And this title is, if you choose to rise up in the new energy, what is it like? If you choose to rise up in the new energy, what is it like? And should you choose to rise up in the new energy, what is that like? And this is, I think, a good thing for me to surrender to and let her speak about, because if I speak about my experiences, and if as we all know, each of us individually is its own unique soul vibration, but at the same time, we're part of a collective. And so my experiences might be different than someone else's, and I don't want to set up a precedent for what the experience should be. So I'm curious to see what Aliania says the experiences of if you choose to rise up to the new energy are like. So I'm not going to put much input into this so that I do not influence anybody on the way it should be, because this is what I know today, and tomorrow might be different. And that's the interesting thing about working with your spiritual nature. Every time you do a healing, it's different. Every time it ends, it's different. And it just changes. And it's the same in life. If you're old enough and you've been on the earth for a couple of decades, you have enough experience to know that it keeps changing. It's different. There's new experiences. And I just think that that's helpful to just realize that we don't live in a static environment. Yeah, we might live in the same house for 30 years, and we might have to refresh and update things, but in general, life changes, and so do we as we move along in it. So I'm going to get out of the way, and let's see what she has to say this day. Oh, good day to you, dearest beings of light. I am Eliane of Cosmic Service, a Palladian Mother of Sound. Oh, so some people go, oh, why does she do this when I come into channel into her voice box down in through here? And that's all I do. I'm just right there. It's because, and some people have called them kriyas. Another word for them is spiritual impulses. Another word for them is well, you can think of it as soul presence, even though I'm not her soul, but the channeling comes through soul. Even those who channel through their higher self, it's actually coming through their soul to their higher self. Then they listen, and then they repeat. So some who are channeling Palladians, like us, are actually channeling them through their soul into their higher self and repeating what we say. And that's their comfort level. And that's what they chose. Or that's what they were trained in, to do it that way. So there's many ways to do things, and many people who do things in many ways. There is no one way to do it. And this one was asked in a Sedona Journal interview that's on YouTube to describe that, and she ended up saying that. She goes, I don't want to set a precedent. It's different for everyone. I've seen some people do it this way. I've seen some people do it this way. This is just the way I'm doing it. But I don't know if there's a right or wrong way. This is just the way I was taught. And that's the way they were taught. And that's a wonderful way to think about the differences on how people choose to bring through spiritual information. And we thought we'd leave that thought at that for people. Okay, so we're going to describe, believe it or not, through 16 levels of consciousness, what it could be like. Okay, because we're starting to percolate this idea of these 16 consciousnesses, because it's going to come through the Woman's Resplendence Bardo Healing course. So, why not? Okay, so should you choose to rise up into the new energy and say to your soul and your higher self, I want this, and you begin to learn some tools to rise up, or you already know how to do that, or you've already learned in your own life that when you are feeling down, you can go for a walk in nature and you come back refreshed, or you can go talk to a friend and you'll feel a little better, but when you do that next thing, you feel refreshed and a little better. Those are kind of like vibrational rising ups. Nature resets your Hertz energy coming through your Schumann resonance in your magnetic spectrum aspects of your body. And it's true. Your friend listened and you were able to express out, and you relieved some things through the voice. And that's true, and that can help move energy. Or you know some tools or healers and you went to someone yourself, or you prayed to the Creator Source and asked for help, or you did nothing. But you still have the ability to rise up above it from where you are in your incarnational soul and higher self journey. Because some people naturally are really good at that, from life experiences and soul experiences over incarnations. So, it's going to be a little different for everyone, isn't it? Yes, it is. Okay. So we're just going to start listing. And we're going to ask this one to get out of the way and not think at all. Should you choose to rise up to your higher self and soul in the asking and the creative source, I want to rise up to this new energy that everyone's talking about called the Great Shift. And I hear lots of people on the web talking about this benevolent energy and this vibration. And sometimes I feel like I hit it, but sometimes I don't. But why can't it be steady state? And is it ever going to be? And how do we find it? And what do we need to do? And la 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 la. For some people, it will be a feeling that the earth is more alive. For some people, it'll be a feeling that suddenly their heart has expanded and it's bigger. For some people, it'll be a feeling that in their deep feeling about themselves, it doesn't feel so scary. Some people will feel that in their mind, suddenly things are not so scary. Some people will feel that in their conversations with other people, since they chose to rise up, people are not talking about as much worrisome stuff and problems. Some people might notice that when they choose to rise up, that they have a different sense of the day and the way the energy moves through a day. Some people might choose to rise up and they might find that in their interim deep heart level, the part they never share with anyone, they suddenly want to start sharing themselves with people and explaining their inner self where they never would let anyone in before. If some people choose to rise up, they might find that they have this ability now that when something bad is happening around them, they're not as interested in it anymore, where before they were attracted to the drama. Some people might find out by rising up that in their interim spaces between sleep and waking, if they happen to be dream warriors who record their dreams and study that, they might suddenly find that their dreams are becoming more benevolent and there's kind of some good feelings coming through. Some people might start to notice that in their meditations and prayers, there's a new feeling of feeling connected. Some people might start to notice that when they have a problem and they start to go into an old energy with it that is a familiar pattern that has a comfort in it, it's no longer going to feel like the right space, and it's not going to feel so comfortable anymore. In other words, I'm going to stay in that energy because I get a payback from it. That kind of energy. Healers know about that. Pretty much a lot of people on the web know about that now. I don't want to heal yet. I'm not ready because I get a payback from being in dis-ease. Okay. Some people might notice that when they have a communion in their prayer, that there's an answer. They might start to notice that they hear, feel, sense, see, or experience something different. And they feel like they're starting to get their answers. Some people might experience that when they go to bed with a problem and they wake up in the morning, it doesn't feel as bad, and they might actually have a solution. Some people might start to experience that in the day as they progress, they might find that there's different parts of the day where they feel like this profound connection to the creative source. Some people might start to choose when they rise up to keep going and explore more. And they suddenly are very hungry for information about their spiritual nature. Some people might find when they rise up that they start to get disinterested in old hobbies and want new ones. Funny one, isn't it? Some people might start to notice when they rise up that they have a gift that they've thought about for a really long time, that they know is their gift, but now they might think about using it, either in their work, or starting a new work, or starting a sideline, or getting a little more training with it because they're interested in it. Some people might find, and she's like, oh gosh, I hope you're counting. Numbers. Do a number on her. Okay, so if we're not exactly 16, it's just she interrupted. So don't criticize, okay? Just letting you know, she has a number block. She's like, oh, I hope this is 16. Okay, let's get her out of the way. Okay, some people might feel that they no longer want to hang out with the same people. They are like, I need a new group of friends. I need something that's a little more uplifting. Some people might feel that they have a big desire to get with other groups of people, doing stuff they never would have thought they'd do in their entire lifetime, like explore their spiritual nature, or go check out a healing course, or go to a seminar, or go to an event. Because they're like, so many people are doing this and they all look kind of happy. I think I'm going to check this out. And before, they never would have thought of that. And it's by the intention of rising up and asking soul, higher self, and the creative source, hey, I want this. Bring me to the new connections and the new energy. Some people might find out that they have a new connection to source that they never knew they had. And they might start to discover that. And the last thing we'd like to share is some people might start to realize that everything they were taught before no longer applies. And they have to find some new information. And we're going to leave that one at that. And so we hope that was 16 for her sake. And if it's not, don't freak out. It'll all come forward at some point with this information that's coming forward more this year. And by 2027, all that information will be there in its perfected form. But sometimes when you bring in new information, you percolate through it in several layers while you refine it and you get the greater truth of it, and you get out any from your own healing of that new information and the blocks you had about receiving it. you get the information pure at the end. And you can get a recheck that it is good. And she's been hoping that would happen with this work, and it will. And we just wanted her to know that. And anyone who's brought in a new healing paradigm pretty much feels that by the time they bring it to people, it's ready to go. Okay, so we're just saying that because there's one person on YouTube who's going to be coming to this video who feels like there's a new healing paradigm coming in. They're not sure. We want to tell you, you are, it is, and don't fight it. You're kind of fighting your soul, bringing in that in, because you're not sure it's really coming through your soul, and it is. And we're going to leave it at that. Okay. So those are all the wonderful reasons and things that can happen for a variety of people in a variety of consciousnesses, levels of evolution, and levels of spiritual knowing if they choose to rise up in the Great Shift. And we thought that list would be helpful for people because it's a slightly different list in a different way than other people have been putting out. And it's sort of selling beyond the happiness paradigm and the joy paradigm that is naturally within the new paradigm of the benevolent Christ healing spirit body that you will paradigm in the end of life Bardo that you were moving into, because it does feel better. So that's what we wish to share with you this day, and we are going to give a forewarning that in the next episode, the final episode of this series, we've told her, you have no idea what's going to happen. You're going to totally surrender. There's going to be energy work, and get out of the way, because this is going to be a new experience for everyone. Peace be with you. You are dearly loved. Expect benevolence in all you do, and we bid you adieu. And this is Dr. Wendy Rowley ending this seminar, and I will do the best I can in this next episode. And I don't even know if I'm going to come in and announce it. I don't know what this is, but I have enough faith and trust in her now to surrender. Peace be with you, and I'll see you in the next episode. It should be exciting. What's going to happen?